What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mark Show. We're back here to discuss episode 8 of The Last Dance documentary of Michael Jordan and Chicago Bulls. And so I'm back here with my boy Jason Ripple once again. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So, all right, man, you already know what it is. We're going to describe episode 8 in one word.
Come on, man. I'm not ready. The freaking one word.
Hey, all right, I got one. I got a good one.
All right, you start right now. Good.
All right, so my one word is beyond. And the reason why is because, remember, that's the last word on the tens. This 94 beyond. He didn't know what to expect come back from retirement. He had no idea what was. It's a new team technically. He didn't know he had to change his body. He didn't know how he reacted. It just there was all unknowns after his dad's death, and so that's why I say beyond, because it was totally just he just didn't know. He had no idea what to expect from that point on. From everything he did today, he just didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I would say rebirth. The
okay.
fact that he was actually able to take the baseball hiatus for 18 months, come back, and try to figure his way back up the mountain again. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
he came back and showed flashes of who he used to be, but he couldn't keep that together consistently. And for him to dedicate himself on the summer of when they were filming Space Jam, the summer of '95 going into '96. That year,
Mm-hmm.
just to see them and dedicate himself, open what they call the Jordan Dome or whatnot, with all sorts of NBA players, which they do now, but I wasn't then back then. Those dudes used to not work out together. And when he had that dome, like they were coming in, like Magic would fly in,
Yeah.
uh, Reggie, Patrick, all those dudes would come in and run a couple games. Now they have that. It's quite frequently. They got the Drew League and all that stuff like that, where all these NBA players playing now.
Yeah.
But back then it wasn't. It wasn't commonly heard of.
Well, also too, so I knew about the games, but I didn't know that Warner Brothers built that for him. I didn't know that. I didn't know the director was like, dude, I got you. Whatever you need, we could make it happen. We could build on the set, on the lot of the make of the movie Space Jam and everything. And then of course a lot of the characters, well, a lot of players in the movie was already there, probably filming anyway. Was because like Sean Bradley, he was in the movie, so he was already there, probably filming his scenes, and other players too. So go ahead and pick up games. So why not?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it just shows the level of influence and power that he had, to be able to make something like that happen, for the movie to be as good as it was, and for him to dedicate. Because this dude, the thing is that when you talk about the whole burnout, you talk about the social and emotional part of it.
Mm-hmm.
About the media attacking and trying to pounce on him whenever they possibly could. Then you got the family emotional trauma. Then you got the thing from going like from a three-peat to playing baseball. But this dude never slept, man. He
Yeah.
never slept. That was the thing. Like, dude was just been. So sometimes when you see him and his eyes are red, it's because he's got a habit of just grinding. Like, he grinds.
Yeah, that was crazy because even
Yeah.
Richie said, like, dude, when do you sleep? You up at 6 in the morning filming. We playing games till 10, 11 at night. You haven't did the work. You haven't lifted weights yet. So he
Mm-hmm.
probably wasn't going to bed until like 1, 2 in the morning. And
Getting up, or being back at the gym at 6.
yeah, exactly. And last week, I think it was episode, me and Anthony discussed it on episode 6. No, you have certain people with that demeanor, like The Rock. He does that. Kevin Hart, they do stuff like that. They'll go to bed at 1, 2 in the morning and be up at 5 and work
Mm-hmm.
out. And that's just their routine. They just mentally that way, especially certain athletes like that, and certain people will be in tip top shape. They just have that motive where they could film all day, work out to 2, 3 in the morning, wake up at 5, and do it all over again, like it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like how's that? Like that's crazy. And
Yeah.
the best
Kobe was like that too.
do what?
I said Kobe was like that too.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted to be the best. And then on top of it, it gave him a nice little scouting report of the players in the league that he has gone against, hasn't gone against, and these guys are now younger than him. Hey, I need to go against these young cats. I need my legs back as quick as possible to go against these guys,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. And two, another funny thing about it too is like how things change and how they don't necessarily talk about how the innovation of the jerseys have changed. Like, I'm not sure if you ever touched or had or worn one of those old school authentic jerseys and so forth. Like, they were heavy.
Yes.
Like, the mesh and the stuff was heavy. Everything was like heavy cloth.
You talk about the actual stitching authentic, or the ones that screen print?
No, the actual stitching.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything about that material was heavy.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, the 90s, probably all the way to about maybe the mid 2000s, where they started to get like some clothing tech, which made the jerseys lighter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember. Yeah. That stuff was very heavy because even though it had the holes in them, I don't. To me, that still would have been enough to make it breathable.
Right. That's kind of crazy. Yep. So so what you think? How did you feel about the whole episode 8?
So being that it was the 72 and 10 team, and I remember that season because I was in high school. I was at 95, 96. So I was going to be 16. I remember that team very vividly. I remember those uniforms because that's when they had the pinstripe black ones, which is one of the best uniforms the Bulls ever had. It's
Right.
black with red pinstripes. I had the jersey. Sick.
And I think that was like the only year they had them too.
Yes, because the next year,
they were straight black. Yeah, all black.
So yes, I prefer the pinstripe one. The pinstripe was just it was just sick. Very, I guess, Chicago old school mobster pinstripe suits. That's just sick. Like that's one of the best suits ever. And I remember that whole season just being like these boys are cold. And I also remember the Seattle Supersonics. Them boys was cold too.
So like for me, and I want to say something that, like, for watching it from a director's point of view, I feel like there's certain things that he is doing a really, really good job at, and some things that he's missing, he's falling short. Meaning, no, not Jordan, the director, when he's trying to tell the story, right?
Okay.
So the Seattle Supersonics, they should have gave a little bit more of a context of who they were. Basically, they told you, Gary Payton was he was an All NBA team, and he was the Defensive Player of the Year, right? Mm-hmm. But they didn't give you any backstory on Sean Kemp. They don't got to give you backstory in regards to his personal, but what Seattle did to get there. Because I mean, you could have shown some highlights of Seattle and how dope they were. Remember Sean Kemp's dunk on Alton Lister?
If I saw it, I probably would.
He comes down the lane, cuffs the ball like this, yokes on Lister like that, and points him like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So then there's probably about 15 highlights they could have just shown of Gary Payton just throwing crazy oops from half court to Sean Kemp, and he was coming down. They used to call the dude the Rain Man for a reason.
Yes, I remember the dunk where Sean Kemp pretty much crossed the entire rim.
Yeah.
Like that boy, one side of the rim back to the other side. He literally was. I'm like, what the hell is that? But that team was amazing too as well. That's when the West back in the late '90s was sick. That team had Deadly Shrimp. Who else was it? Sam Perkins on it? Was it?
Sam Perkins on that team, yeah.
Uh,
Shrub, you had Gary, you had Nate McMillan, you
yes,
had
McMillan.
Vincent Askew, and then they had their enforcer. His name was it Frank Burkowski? So that dude was out there to rebound and throw some forearms.
I think if I saw his face, I'll remember for
Yeah.
sure. And then of course, the those jerseys, those Seattle Supersonics jerseys, those right there were sick. I didn't like the Sprite color ones, but those right there was
You
always
don't
sick.
like the OGs?
The what?
You don't like the OG colorway? Sound
Not
like
not really. I prefer the one with the space needle and everything.
yeah.
Was always sick to me.
I'm the opposite of that. I like the OG ones so
Really?
much. Yeah, I like the OG Atlanta Hawks jerseys too.
Yeah.
Like the ones, not like the ones Dominique and Spud Webb used to wear.
Oh yeah. The new one, well, the at the time the new one was the one with the hawk going
Mhm.
across the jersey. Those
Right.
those was cool, but
Yeah.
okay, the old school, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and with him pretty much trying to get back in shape. That's what it was. Just like you said, he had to go from a baseball body to a basketball body, and he had to do it quickly too. And his personal trainer, he got him there pretty fast, pretty quick.
Yeah. Lose some weight. I mean, he was still playing at like 210 at that time.
Yeah,
He was before he retired in 93. He was about 195 pounds. When he goes and plays baseball, he goes from 195 all the way up to about 225, 230. And then
oh wow,
and then when he came back, he had to get down. He was about 210, 207.
yeah. That man had no legs. He was tired. Like he couldn't jump. Baseball. You stand in the outfield the whole time, ain't doing nothing. So
Yeah.
you're not really using your legs at all, really. Only when
Mhm.
you need to.
Yeah, it takes a while to get back in basketball shape, man. That's not easy to do.
Oh, not even close. Not even close. But and we discussed it. And I told you at some point they're gonna bring it up. What's the fight?
Yeah, but I don't know. That fight gets way blown out of proportion. Like I think that fight gets blown out of proportion because Steve Kerr was the coach of the Golden State Warriors during a span where they won what 3 championships in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So like it was like he hit him in the mouth. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because he hit Will Purdue in the mouth too.
True.
They didn't really mention that too much. Will Purdue mentioned it by himself. He was like, "Yeah, we got into a fight. I got punched, whatever." But I mean, nobody makes a big deal out of it. But it's because Steve Kerr is the championship head coach of the Golden State Warriors. Is why it becomes a bigger story than it needs to be.
Well,
Because
also,
they didn't.
what I was
Because,
gonna say was, oh, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh
After
no,
you.
I was say was as well. And Jordan was saying himself. I just punched the shortest dude out on my team, and
Mm-hmm.
pretty much someone like that. He was going back down from Jordan. I don't care who you are, pretty much. No, I'm like I just back down for you, and it earned his respect from that point on. But he would say, yeah, he felt bad. You could tell he felt bad punching him. Like yeah, what Steve Kerr? Maybe it was 6'3", 6'4", something like that.
Yeah, like 6'2", 6'3", yeah.
And Jordan 6'6" punched him out. Like, come on, oh
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes, right? You sit there, and it's kind of funny because I see the very similar, the similarities between him and Kobe because Kobe would do that sometimes too. Like he'd straight up go at his teammates in practice.
yes.
Yeah. So I don't know, just one of those interesting things to watch and watch those unfold and behind the scenes and whatnot. Gives you an insight of what it takes to stay on top.
Yes.
You give an inch because everybody's gunning for you. Because you have to understand, there's like 20 every year is 29 other teams trying to beat you, trying to dethrone you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, like that's why how it ended with Reggie Miller saying, "Man, we got the team to beat them. We about to do it." Like, I know he's about to retire, but we're gonna send him into retirement. But that'll let you know who Reggie Miller is. Like, he's thinking like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta think like that. You
Oh,
gotta have mentality.
yeah. And Jordan said himself, like, if you're not gonna be that guy, like you can't be on my team. We finna go to war. If you can't handle me, how you gonna handle these fools that's trying to take us out? Like, come on now, like. So he was on it. He was on Scott Burrell's ass. Boy, he was giving. He said Scott Burrell was the nicest guy ever. He said I couldn't make him mad for nothing. And you could tell Scott Burrell was like one of those really nice guys. He's just a nice guy kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting though, because I mean, through that run, you really don't have anyone else that steps up. Like, maybe you might say Tony Kukoc did, and it's the other silver lining. Like, every team as they get older finds this nugget piece, whether it's through free agency or whether it's through the draft, that ends up becoming a large part of the team. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in all honesty, they had nobody to pass that torch to.
Yeah. So, actually, we didn't talk about this last episode, so I'm gonna bring it up now because it just crossed my mind. If Jordan would have played in that game where Pippen was like, "I'm not going in," and since Kukoc took the last shot, you think Jordan would have been okay with that
Yes.
at that time?
Would Jordan been okay with it? I could see both scenarios he'd be okay with it, and I see both scenarios that he wouldn't be okay with it. But I know one thing, he wouldn't have sat out.
Yes. Yes. You could tell Scottie Pippen, he felt bad about that too after the fact. But you making a grown man, old man Bill Cartwright cry. Come on, dog.
From the late '60s, playing in the 90s,
like
early '70s. Yeah, early '70s, playing in the '90s. Yeah.
Look like a old school high school principal, Bill Cartwright. Mr. Cartwright, making him cry. Come on, Pippen, what you doing, dog?
Yeah. So Pippen, see, that's the thing too, is like they never really get into the whole Pippen thing the way they should have.
Yeah.
Because Pippen has a rocky history of both excellence and then he falls.
Yes.
Excellence and then fall. So, for example, he becomes an all-star, right? And then he has a contract dispute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they have a problem where eventually he becomes an MVP candidate. I think he finishes third in '94, right? That year he goes through two things. He goes the 1.8 in the playoffs, which is the 1.8 seconds he sat out, where Tony Kukoc hits a shot to win the game, and then they ended up finding a gun in his either pickup truck or SUV at the time that everybody lost their shit for. It's like, all right, he got a gun. So what? Huh?
Who was this?
I want to say it was that same year. I think it was '95. So Scotty was not only was he had the problem with the contract the whole entire time, but he kept running into the law or into certain situations that would give him a bad name.
Yeah. Gotcha. But that season there, 96 season, Lord have mercy. That team was just unstoppable. Damn. But Pippen told Jeb Bushler, dude, we ain't gonna lose a game for the next 3 months. Like, what you mean? What? That's crazy.
Yeah, they came out the gates, man. I think by All-Star game, they only had 3 losses at All-Star game.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Now, question is, I wonder if you may know maybe a couple of people, a couple of other teams. Those 10 losses, who were they to? And they said one of them was the Seattle. They said that in the season.
One of them,
Maybe 2 games was to Seattle, maybe.
I think 2 games was to Seattle. They lost 2 to Seattle. I know they lost 1 to the Charlotte Hornets because I was mad that night. Because we were 3 games away from being perfect at home that season. We had lost a game all season long. And Ron Harper had a chance to tie the game against the Charlotte Hornets that same year. Yeah, that same year. They played them in the playoffs early in the year, and they ended up beating us. And that ruined the perfect home streak. We were about to go 42-0 at home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think we ended up going 41-1 at home. Or maybe losing 2 games. Because I remember that it happened like the last week. It happened like the last week of the regular season.
Yeah. And so who else did they play? Oh, that's right. They played the first round was the no, was the first round the Hornets or the second round was the Hornets with BJ?
Second round was
Second round.
Oh, second round was the Hornets with BJ, right?
First round was the Nets.
No, that was 98.
Okay, who's the first round was they played that year? They showed it. Damn it, who was it?
Oh, I can't remember. Was it Washington that year?
No, they showed it tonight. That
I can't remember.
I thought it was New Jersey.
No, New Jersey is the first team they played in '98.
Oh, in 90. Damn. In 96. Who the hell was it? Damn, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember either. Oh, Washington.
That's what I just said.
Was it Washington?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think it was Washington. Chris Webber was on the team. Calvin Chaney.
Maybe so.
That's my guess. I would guess it was Washington in the first round, the '96 playoffs.
And of course, DJ got to open his mouth. Like, come on, dog. Like, really? You just pretty much you pulled a what's your boy name? The Bradford Smith.
Yeah, the Bradford Smith. Yeah. But it makes sense though, because I mean, BJ was a specialty type of guy, right? And this is his first time playing against another team, and he had the game of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, really, BJ's responsibility beforehand was just to play defense and hit open shots.
Yeah. And then after that's that game 2. That boy unleashed on him. And I actually, you know something? One thing I do like, because they showed it this episode, I think they showed it episode 7. We saw Jordan in his locker room watching Sports Center, watching all the criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all give this man so much fuel. Like, come on. Like, yeah, killing me with this now. Like, it's out there in public domain. Like, he's watching it all. He's hearing every little piece of criticism possible he can find to use as his advantage. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, come on. And George Coyle, really? You gonna walk past him at the restaurant? He's like, oh, you my boy, Dean Smith? Like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, I literally, I did this. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, it only takes a little bit. You got to find it where you can. I mean, it's kind of like sales, right? If you take the same mentality, every quarter you get to where you get to in terms of you try to get over 100%, right? And then after 3 months, you got to do it all over again.
Pretty much.
Then you do it for years. You got to do it all over again every quarter. You know, nobody remembers what you did last quarter. It's what you're doing now.
Right.
So you got to keep finding ways to keep yourself motivated.
Right. And I like how they showed, of course, they did a lot of focus on the Hornets, because of BJ. But of course, they showed Glenn Rice. He had no. He was like, "Come on, dog! Like really, the dog's awake. Come on now, we just woke him up."
Yep.
That team was pretty good too. That Charlotte Hornets team.
Yeah. No, they have some players on that team.
Yeah, on that one there, and of course to get back to playing the Magic and literally swept them. Like just was dumped, like it was nothing. Literally got to the point where it was like nothing to them.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this question: when he was talking, when he said, "Oh my God, what did he say?" Oh, well, first of all, I'm gonna get to what I get to about this. When they showed Jordan the tablet of Gary Payton talking, and he was laughing in his face, he was laughing at him.
Mm-hmm.
To me that was hilarious.
Yeah.
To me that was hilarious because Gary Payton was serious. He said, "Yeah, man, I should have did what I did on early season. I think I could have did something." And Jordan's like, "I have more important things on my mind," kind of deal. Like, like really? So my question is this: I know he saw the schedule and saw the days that the games fall on. Do you think just a little bit he kind of like not really plays off, but kind of like, okay, let's game 6 on Father's Day back home. I kind of want to play that game.
Listen,
Did you get I got a small sense of that. Like he kind of.
I got a great sense of that. There are times when the Bulls felt so superior that they took their foot off the pedal for the sake of revenue. We're going to stretch this out.
Yeah.
If you look at it, if you go back and watch the Portland final, you go back and watch the Phoenix Suns final, and then none of the Utah ones. It's this one. It's the Seattle one. They're up 3 games to nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's certain times when they've come out flat, but they've got the series in complete control.
Mm-hmm.
So if you noticed, all of them except for 91 finished in 5 games, and then all of the rest finished in 6 games.
Yeah. Unless the first 2 rounds you just sweep and get to the finals or whatever. But I took that like when he said had other things in his mind, like he said, I think for sure he took his foot off the gas because he's like, yeah, I think let's get to Father's Day game. Let's get to game 6, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up there in that kind of deal. Because once again, that's another game. I remember watching that game live. I remember the whole entire game where he took the ball from whoever, I think it was Ronnie Brown or somebody with the ball and just fell. And of course, the locker room scene, I remember all that, like to this day. Very, very, I remember the whole scene happening.
Yeah. Randy Brown.
Well, that's what it was, Randy Brown?
Randy Brown, yeah.
Yeah. And just the whole locker room scene and him being by himself. I remember all that like it happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So it did bring back some memories on that one. I was like, damn.
That's what's up. All right, on to next week.
Yeah, pretty much. Last 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Last 2. It's been a nice little run of 8 hours of this stuff, which we needed it right now.
Yeah. Of course. It's time for you to get back to work.
Exactly. So, did you miss anything in this one? Music was great. Run DMC, of course, the King was played for him during the montage. So that was a great little nod on that one there. So I think that's pretty much it on this episode. You think of anything else you think of? Well, that's really kind of.
I think that's it.
Cool. So before we got here, guys, Once again, my boy over here, Jason Burke, will give out the socials. You can contact them.
You see it on the screen.
Yeah, right there. Oh, hold on. Over there, Jason Verbal, Instagram, and of course for me, DeMar Show on Instagram as well. And guys, we got 2 more episodes to go, and we'll be done with this 10-part minute series. So if you guys like this video, give us a thumbs up. It's on the screen right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video with other people. And the words of my baby Zoe, not Chicago, 45, but we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.